Speaking of worthless, Konosuke Takeshita is the international champion. He defended that title tonight against Ricochet, the same Ricochet who says he wanted to showcase himself tonight and show the world that he could carry a company, man. Oh, my goodness. Ricochet, keep working, brother.
He said that right after he's told a fan to, quote, suck my dick.
Wow, man. AEW wrestlers, man, once they're signed, the chains are off and they go out there and start flaming fans, man. That's exactly what they think of you, man. The fact that Ricochet told the fan of the product to suck his dick, this is what pro wrestlers think of their fan base.
Is that how you carry a company? Is that his definition of carrying a company?
I guess so.
I was just wondering.
I guess so. Ricochet and Konosuke Takeshita. Listen. I want to preface this by saying Konosuke Takeshita is a fucking phenomenal pro wrestler. He is great. Love his themes.
Been a fan of his since day one.
Yeah, I think he's great. I'm glad he's finally getting a push. I think him and Don Callis are a great pairing. Love his theme music as well. There's just something about it. It just fucking hits. It's a great theme. Then you got Ricochet. Love Ricochet. Called Ricochet matches within House of Glory. I think he's a phenomenal fucking guy. Ricochet gets in there. I've said this countless times when he was with the E. You put him in there, man, he sells his ass off. Everybody that's in a match with Ricochet is better off for it because Ricochet goes above and beyond to sell legitimately anything as the most devastating move that you could possibly ever see. He is so good at what he does. He's a fantastic seller. Incredible athlete. There's nobody that does what Ricochet does. But AEW's got Will Ospreay, who does everything that Ricochet does, but better. And that's where the problem lies with this match. Tony Khan has too many wrestlers that do the same thing. And the problem with this match, because this was a match that a lot of people were looking forward to. And I blasted Tony Khan on social media for a dumb decision that he made. Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't these guys in the opening match of Dynamite on Wednesday night in an 8-man tag, all-star 8-man tag team match?
Yes. Yep.
They were on Dynamite. They were the first guys you saw on Wednesday's flagship show. There wasn't one instance, and Jesse and I called this out on Wednesday night when we were live. There wasn't one instance where Tony Khan fed to Excalibur to announce this match taking place on the pay-per-view. They waited, for whatever reason, to announce this match on Twitter the next day on social media instead of doing it on Dynamite. Now, I don't know why a decision like that was made, but clearly you think less of Konosuke Takeshita and Ricochet than the fucking Costco guys if they got such low billing and you had to announce their match on fucking Twitter instead of on your flagship show, yet you are gallivanting with the Costco guys on MSNBC and CNN and ESPN and Fox Sports Business and all these other places to sell this fucking nothing match that will be forgotten about tomorrow when everybody goes back to work. So I don't really understand why that match was announced on social media. The point I'm trying to make here is you got Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, who on the same show did basically everything that you wanted to see in that type of match. And then you give me Konosuke Takeshita and Ricochet. And what was the reaction from the crowd, Jesse, who basically had to sit through yet another match like Fletcher and Ospreay, but significantly less than? What was the reaction from New Jersey tonight? Man, those are some loud fucking crickets, man. Holy shit. What are those? Are those cicadas over there?
No, real life crickets, bruh.
Okay. That's exactly what was New Jersey tonight, man. This was the most boring. This was the most lifeless. This was the most soulless Ricochet match I've ever seen. And the same could be said about Konosuke Takeshita. Now, the match itself wasn't bad. But legitimately, everything that you saw in this match, we just saw from Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay with 1,000 times more energy. So I got to ask Tony Khan, why are we doing this match on the same show as Will Ospreay? And why is the match booked and produced the same way that they were? We saw one flip in one match. We saw the same flip in this match. We see the same clothesline in one match. We see the same clothesline in this match. It was basically the same match from both matches. You were better off not even putting it on the fucking pay-per-view and saving this shit for fucking Dynamite or Collision or wherever you want to do this fucking match. Why did you waste it? No, you needed to do it because you thought you were going to add some star power to the show and get some extra interest in the show because you knew there was none coming in. Yet you fucking sabotaged both of these fucking guys, and they both had a terrible match, which here we are again complaining and shitting on a Ricochet and Takeshita match, which is a fucking cardinal sin if you ask me. How do you fucking level these guys up to this point in AEW? And Ricochet came in with so much fanfare, Jesse, and now look at him, bro. It's like he ran through all of his lives already in fucking 2 months. I mean, the guy's is cold as ice. Tony Khan got his one match with Ricochet with Will Ospreay and now is bored with his new toy, and Ricochet doesn't really feel all that significant on TV. Why?
Well, if you had not run straight to Ricochet and Ospreay, you would still at least have that match in your back pocket to set up for us. But we've already seen it.
Already seen it.
Done.
There was no story going into it, no matter what you want to say. No story going into it. And this Takeshita match had no fucking story either. Oh, but Takeshita, Ricochet pinned Takeshita, and Takeshita ruined Ricochet winning the international championship. Give me a fucking story. That's not story. No. A fucking second grader could write that fucking story. You blew through this match. You blew through the Takeshita match. Now what's left for Ricochet, man? I guarantee you this guy's going to be banished to fucking Collision. He's going to be working with Hologram and Beast Mortos on Collision.
No, I feel like TK is definitely getting buyer's remorse with Ricochet, man. I mean, the guy he's great at what he does, but he's very one-dimensional. He's a high flyer. He has fantastic spots. But outside of that, gimmick work, mic work, everything else that would come with being someone who can lead the company, to the next level, or at least be up there with everyone else as they attempt to lead the company to the next level, Ricochet is not going to be your guy. He'll be your guy to go out there and give you a banger match when you need a high flyer match or something like that. He's great for that, man. But to answer, what he said, no, he is not going to be the guy that's going to help lead a company. He is not. He is a fantastic mid-card guy, all right? He's a fantastic situational guy when you need a banger match out of someone, but he's not going to be that guy where people say, man, I can't wait to see the next Ricochet match. What Ricochet does is phenomenal in WWE, because they don't have a lot of people that can do the kind of things that Ricochet can, the things that Ricochet can do. They have a few, don't get me wrong, but not too many of them. Here in AEW, every other guy can go out there and put on a match like Ricochet and also bring more to the table. So Ricochet.
I mean, look at what Commander was doing in the fucking pre-show match with Beast Mortos and Dante Martin and Buddy Matthews. I mean,
yeah,
you got 1,000 fucking Ricochets on this roster. What makes Ricochet stand out? This was his decision to come here. Don't get me wrong. He wanted to prove himself away from WWE. I'm sure he's going to kill it no matter what he does. But this lifeless fucking Ricochet that we see right now, man, this was a soulless, uninspired mess on pay-per-view. The crowd could not give a single shit about this shit. Tony brought him in for one match, blew through that one match in 4 weeks, blew through Takeshita, and now the guy's got fucking nothing. So what are you going to do? And I don't even blame them. It's not even their fault. It's all Tony Khan. It's all creative.
No. If there was one person that I could pick right now that needs to undergo a heel turn, I would pick Ricochet. He needs to stop talking, period. Do not put a mic in his hand. He needs to have a handler. He needs to have someone who can speak for him, and he needs to be a dick. And that might be something that can help draw some interest. The only other problem is when he does eventually turn heel, hopefully he does, he needs to change up his fucking work style, man. You cannot work with that style as a heel. So now he has to change what he does best. He needs to work a different style. He can't go out there and be a high flyer doing 450 fucking corkscrews off the fucking ring post You know, and so that is not a heel moveset.
Bro, the perception from the audience to see that shit in every match does not give the audience the special feeling that they should be showing Ricochet. Ricochet's not special if you saw fucking 450 splashes from the first 3 hours of this show. It's not special anymore.
Yeah.
This match was also terrible because of the way the pay-per-view flowed. There was legitimately no break in anything that this show provided. There was no break. They went from one match to a 30-second video package into the next match, 30-second video package into the next match. They think that breaking up the matches with 30-second video packages is going to give the fans enough of a rest and enough of a fucking detox from what they just saw to get ready to go into the next match. How the fuck could you get ready for what Takeshita and Ricochet are going to bring to the table when they just sat through Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, then they had to sit through whatever came after that, and then after that, Jack Perry and Danny Garcia, and then into this match. Like, there's no rest. This is the product of Tony Khan booking 12 matches, 13 matches on pay-per-view. You don't need that many. 7 matches at best. Let things breathe. These guys were a product of fucking rapid fire pay-per-view, and the fact that we're sitting here blasting Ricochet and Takeshita, which should have been the second best match of the night, this ended up being one of the worst matches of the fucking night.
You want to know what I would try with Ricochet?
Put him in the Hurt Business?
Well, maybe not. It kind of seems like an easy fix.
Well, then he'll play. Then he'll be playing second fiddle to Bobby Lashley.
Exactly, and that's the problem. So, here's what I would try. What do you think about this one? I would put Ricochet back in a mask, and I'd turn him back into Prince Puma. Change his style up. Have it be a more heelish style. He's got to change that style up. Be a heel in a mask. Get him with someone who can fucking talk. Maybe Don Callis. You know, I don't know, just fucking spitballing, someone who can fucking talk for him. But I'm gonna put him in the mask, and what that's gonna do is that's gonna completely change his perception of his gimmick. All right, now he's a different character. He's a different guy. He's a fucking prick. He's a dick now. He can be Callus's fucking assassin or something like that. No more fucking talking. Just have him do shit, some evil dick type shit, and make him Prince fucking Puma, and try that because he needs to be a heel. This babyface shit is not fucking working. He needs to be a heel. He needs to do something to really, really get some major fucking heat and draw some interest from him as a fucking heel. I would put him back in the fucking mask and put him with maybe Callis. I don't want him with the Hurt Business, like you just said. He's completely overshadowed. He's going to drown in there.
I don't know. I mean, like you said, if he's going to go heel, he needs to change up his style drastically because he can't be doing fucking 630 sentons and springboard moonsaults and standing Spanish flies and whatever the fuck he wants to do, gymnastic shit off the top rope. Man, we can't be seeing that shit. So something needs to change because Ricochet, after he came in at All In, his stock has been significantly going down, and he's not special. He's not. In this current climate of AEW with this roster, I could count 12 or 13 different Ricochets on this roster.
Yeah.